I'm your Circle 93, journey before open heart, second year, chapter 11, countdown. In the diagnostics patient room, a black aerosol canister rolls on the floor, sputtering empty. What did we just breathe? You feel a painful tingling in your throat. Nearby, Danny sits by Bobby's body, clearly stunned. Raph's skin catches in the light where the spray covers him. It's on me. It's all over me. Travis, Senator Perugia's aide, hacks and coughs on the floor. Raph grabs him by the collar and pins him to the wall. What the hell was in that thing? I don't. He twists away from Raph and vomits into a trash bin. Your mind races as he looks to Ethan, or you look to Ethan, standing on the other side of the window, his eyes wide with horror. Casey. Stop him from coming inside. Ethan, don't come in here. Race to the door and hold it shut, meeting Ethan's eye through the window. What's going on? Travis just tried to kill Senator Ed with whatever was in the canister. It got out. We have no idea what was in there. Bobby took a full blast of it to the face. Danny and Raph were both right there when Travis deployed it. And I breathed some in. Whatever it is, it's clearly dangerous. We can't risk it getting out to the rest of the hospital. Look back to Travis, still heaving into the trash can. You're right. We have to stop it from spreading. I don't feel good. It's because you're panicking. Danny lurches to the side, vomiting hard. Raph pats his shoulder, comforting. Whatever this is, it's bad. Next turn, Travis collapses, shuddering violently. Bobby's stopped moving entirely. Damn it. Your heart pounding, you look around and spot an air duct near the ceiling. Raph, help me. We need to seal that vent. On it. You dig through a cupboard and find some plastic sheeting, usually used for exam tables. Raph places his fingers together and boosts you up as you secure it into place with medical tape. This'll have to do. Glamor down and turn to Raph. His eyes look bloodshot. You think back to how he tackled Travis, just as he was about to display the aerosol right next to you. Raph, are you feeling okay? You were so close when that thing went off. Don't worry about me. Bobby took a much bigger hit, not to mention Travis himself. You hanging in there, Danny? Danny lies slumped against a wall, breathing hard, a glassy look in his eyes. I don't... He wheezes, a low rasping gas. You put your fingers to his wrist and have trouble finding his weak, slow pulse. Serendipitously, you feel Bobby's wrist for a pulse, but you can't find one at all. Oh God, whatever that stuff was, it's already stopped his heart. Poor Bobby. Without the equipment we need in here, he's going to die. In fact, he might be dead already. Casey, did you get much on you? I'm not sure. Only a little, I think. Good. You look back to the window. Ethan is talking on a phone, as behind him hospital staff evacuate patients from the rooms around you. The CDC are on the way. You'll be fine, Casey. You'll both be fine. He gives you a comforting look, but you know him too well not to see the terror in his eyes. Now playing as Bryce LaHaley. You're 3 hours in Akira's marathon surgery. The world is quiet, empty, except for you and the open chest cavity before you. A furious, fleshy mass spreads from Akira's lungs to her esophagus. Resect the tumor. Your scalpel flashes as you make careful cuts between the tumor and the esophagus. It's imperative that you remove every poisonous cell without damaging Kira's healthy organs. Perfect. The tumor neatly peels away. You scoop it out with your hands and dump it unceremoniously into a waiting tray. Okay, time to remove the lung. But before you can make the next incision, loud whispers split your focus. You glance over to see a surgical resident hovering in the doorway, talking anxiously with an anesthesiologist. What's going on? Sorry, Dr. LaHaley. Chief Banerjee sent me to round up whoever I could. The feds are here. Something's going on upstairs. That's up at the observation room. The audience of doctors who came to watch you rare, risky surgery are no longer looking at you. Several are rushing for the door. the others talking to each other with expressions of grave concern. Dr. De La Rosa, what's happening out there? Inez reluctantly hits a button on the intercom. There's been an assassination attempt on Senator Ed. He's okay, but apparently some staff were caught in the crossfire. Inez, was that Casey's patient? Was she in there? Yes. For the first time in your career, your scalpel hand shakes. Are we in danger in here? Not here. The assassin used some kind of aerosol. They sealed off the airway to the room. We've been assured the rest of the building is safe, but the CDC has evacuated the whole floor. You take a long breath, your brain buzzing, and look to Kira's vulnerable face. She's only doing the surgery because of me. I promised her I'd get her through this. I promised Casey. But now Casey's trapped in quarantine, suffering from God knows what, and all you can do is think about rushing to her side. You steady your hand and cut into Kira's ruined lung. A dark trickle of blood fills the cavity. Wrap. Suction. Your intern acts quickly, cauterizing the bleeder and suctioning up the small puddle. The intern looks at you with a questioning expression. The observation deck intercom crackles to life. Bryce, are you okay down there? I've got one friend under the scalpel and another caught up in an assassination attempt. We didn't study this in med school. But I'm the only one who prepped for this surgery. Nobody else at Edinburgh has any experience with this except Dr. Tanaka. Then I'll call for him. It's his day off. He could be anywhere, and it's not like I can keep Kira open and wait for him. I've already cut into her lung. If I don't keep going, her body could go into shock. It could kill her. Bryce, I know you're desperate to see Casey. Let me call Dr. Tanaka. I could keep my promise to Kira through the worst of the surgery and be with Casey. Let Inez call Dr. Tanaka for a chance to continue playing as Bryce and to visit Casey as soon as possible. Okay? I'm calling right now. In the meantime, just try to stay focused. Right, removing the pericardium is the biggest risk of the entire surgery. I can't mess it up. So don't. Believe in you. I believe in you, Bryce. Do whatever you need to do to get through this. So stop talking to him while he focuses. For the past few months, it's been the easiest thing in the world to slip into the magical place where your scalpel and the patient are the only things that matter. But today, you need to use your old failsafe. Think of the ocean. You close your eyes and think of your favorite beach in Hawaii. Like for me, it's one place I go when my mind just is going through a lot. You're on your surfboard, far beyond the breaking waves. You lie on your back, the water droplets dotting your skin, evaporating in the warm sun. You breathe in and out in time to the gentle ebbing of the ocean. Your lungs and the lungs of the earth moving in perfect tandem. When you open your eyes, you find the world quiet. Still once more. It's just you and Kira. You barely even hear Inez's voice through the speaker, assuring you that Dr. Tanaka is on his way. I've got you, Kira. Make your incision, deftly cutting away at Kira's lung until you're able to gently scoop it from her chest and lay it in a pan. Cauterize. Your intern seals the wound. You turn your attention to Kira's lazily beating heart. You can easily see the tumor tying to the end of your friend's life, clinging to the sac protecting the heart like a furious barnacle. Now for the hardest part. If I make a single wrong move. You stop short, refusing to let yourself go down that path. Focus, Haley. Think about the process. It's all about the process. You take a deep breath and lower your fingers to the pericardium, gently probing it to search for the margins of decay, and find that the tumor spreads over half of Kira's heart lining. You gently take Kira's heart in your hand and pick up your scalpel. Holy sh... Against your better judgment, you glance out the doctor watching the surgery from the observation room and staring in horror at his pager. The other doctors are hanging on his words. If you focus, you can make out the chatter even without the intercom. Someone's saying the assassin released anthrax into the hospital. Panic spreads quickly through the OR. You grit your teeth, keeping hold of your sense of calm with everything you've got. What do we do? What if we got into the vest before the CDC closed off the floor? I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you all to get the hell out of my OR. But... out! I can't give my patient my fall with all of you freaking out over there. You heard the doctor. We're not doing any good here. She throws you an impressed smile as she corrals the offending doctors out of the observation room, leaving you with a small team of stoic surgeons, surgical nurses, in a quiet room. That's better. With the OR finally settled, you make a careful slice into the fibrous pericardium, the outermost layer of the pericardium. It's only a single cell thick. Slowly, carefully, you cut and peel away the outermost layer. Most of the tumor comes with it, but you can't take any chances. Moving on to the inner serous pericardium. Stretch your hand, your back and shoulders, and reach back into the cavity. Over half an hour has passed since you first set your scalpel to the pericardium. Suction. Your surgical nurses remove the pericardial fluid that oozes from the incision. You work in tandem, cutting and suctioning, cutting and suctioning. Careful. Careful. Inner layer of the pericardium hugs the heart tightly. You barely notice another nurse mopping at the sweat of your brow as you keep your hand steady, slicing on the lining and not pressing through to the beating heart. Another 45 minutes pass. At last you remove the last of the damaging lining and encounter Kira's naked heart. In a healthier patient with a full set of lungs and an intact diaphragm, you could leave her heart like this. Gore-Tex. But Kira's stressed organs need all the support you can give them. You press the pre-cut mesh fabric tightly around the heart. Suture kit. A nurse hands you 2 sets of narrow forceps and a hooked needle already set for the suture thread. You get to work, carefully securing the reconstructed pericardium in place. I'm here, Dr. Lahili. What do you need from me? Dr. Tanaka, thank you for coming. I know it's your day off. I can't tell you how much it means to me that you were willing to take over on such short notice. Of course. After Dr. De La Rosa told me what happened, frankly, I'm glad there's something useful I can do. I'm just going to finish up out of this phase, then pass it over, okay? He nods, watching as you work your way methodically around the heart, stitching the Gore-Tex together and anchoring it. I know you're notorious for keeping your cool, Haley, but I'm impressed. I gotta admit, today's testing me. Then you've passed. You feel around the heart, checking for gaps, tears in the fabric. At last, you breathe a sigh of relief. She's okay. We did it. Go, be with your friend. I'll take over from here. I owe you one, Doctor. A very, very big one. Noted. Go. You smile under your mask and hurry for the exit, peeling away your bloodied gown. I'm coming, Casey. Now playing as Casey Valentine. You and Raph sit on the bed, shivering slightly in your patient gowns as the CDC agents in hazmat suits finish tarping the room. As soon as they're done, federal agents pour in. They roll Bobby's covered body away on a stretcher. Travis and Danny are both weak, and they shiver violently as the agents load each of them into sealed glass boxes. I hope you pull through, Danny. You move to the window where Ethan is watching the scene unfold. Danny, where are they taking him? We've moved some support equipment into one of the empty rooms on the floor and tarped it off. One of his fellow nurses will be there to give him round-the-clock care. It's imperfect, but we're hoping it will help him hold on longer. The agents move past you with Travis, exiting through the decontamination tent they've erected just outside the doorway as another agent stands guard. But instead of following after Danny, they turn the bed into the opposite direction. The last glimpses you have of Travis is a terrified face slick with sweat. You can't seem to stop scratching furiously at the skin on his arms and face. What? Where are you taking him? We need to stabilize him here so we can ask him what he used. I need you to move, sir. But this might be our only chance to find out. The agent stalks down the hallway, Ethan trailing after him, still arguing. You turn to Raph in the sudden empty room. It feels like we're in a spaceship. Yeah. Casey? You look to the window to see Bryce on the other side. His handsome face is dismayed as he takes in the scene. Bryce. Shouldn't you be in Kira's surgery? Did it finish early? Is she... Shh, she's okay. I got her through the hardest part. Dr. Tanaka is finishing up for me. Please tell me you didn't leave for surgery for me? I'd leave anything anywhere for you, Casey, you know that, but Kira's in the next best pair of hands possible. I promise. You look into Bryce's eyes, even behind the thick glass of the window. You're warm and they're comforting. Okay, I'm glad you're here. Casey, what happened? How did Raph get here? And who were they wheeling out just now? Fill Bryce in on everything that happened after you discover Travis was the one behind Senator Ed's lead poisoning. Your voice grows tight as you recount the attack and Bobby's death. Damn, he was such a nice guy. I even met his kids a few times. He sucks in a deep breath, steadying himself. Still, try not to focus on that, okay? I'm sure we'll find out what Travis used soon enough. The rest of you are going to be cured in time for a drink at Donahue's tonight. You can tell it's all bravado, but you smile anyway. Thanks, Bryce. You lay your hand against the glass. He meets it with his own. A few minutes later, Ethan reappears outside the window. He looks like he's fighting to stay calm. How are you feeling, Casey? I'm kind of enjoying having the day off work. I genuinely can't remember the last time I had a day off without any chores or studying to do. This is practically a holiday. That's at the spot of the floor where Bobby died just a few minutes ago. Well, aside from the obvious. I paged June and Baz. We've got to get samples out as soon as possible. Danny's too weak to risk even drawing blood right now, so I'm gonna suit up and we'll be right in. I'll be close by in case you need anything. A few minutes later, the three people in hazmat suits approach the room and pass through the decontamination tent. As soon as the room is sealed behind them, one hurries over and grips your hand. Casey, are you alright? Oh, what a stupid question. Of course you're not, but we're going to get you through this. Baz, give her some space. Casey, take a seat. We're going to take your vitals and draw some blood samples. Were either of you experiencing any new symptoms? Anything you could say could be important? I'm feeling pretty nauseous and having stomach cramps. The last half an hour or so, my mouth kind of tastes metallic, if that makes any sense. Okay, metallic taste. Casey? Slight nausea, but nothing else so far. Suddenly, Raph sways beside you, clutching his stomach. After a few seconds, he staggers into the bathroom. You hear him vomit. A few seconds later, he emerges, still swaying. Raph. I'm okay, I promise. Things just went a little blurry for a second. I could probably lie down. You jump up, wincing against a more powerful wave of nausea, and help Raph lie back on the bed. He doesn't resist you, which only makes you worry. Dr. Aviero, if you don't mind. You're surprised to find June's no-nonsense energy is exactly what you need right now. Raph swallows painfully and skin clammy as June slides a blood pressure sleeve over his arm. Tell me. Is everyone else safe? Everyone's fine. The CDC have sealed off the entire floor and turned off the airflow and in and out of here. The rest of the hospital is safe. That's good. I'd hate for anyone else to suffer because of what Travis has done. Did he say anything about what was in the can? Anything that could give us a place to start? No, just said he was going to make Ed suffer. That reckless bastard, he didn't care who he took down with him. Why didn't we see it sooner? Because Travis spent years hiding it. Even Ed didn't know what he was capable of. Was the can tested? Yes, but there was nothing left inside. Whatever was in there was, fully discharged and left no trace. And the CDC already disinfected the entire floor. Exactly. Whatever infected you now exists within your bodies. We're going to have to grind this out. It could be anything. Viral, bacterial, chemical, fungal. Bobby's heart attack came on so fast that autopsy won't tell us anything new. It might be an allergy or possibly just stress. Baz lays a reassuring hand on his shoulder. We'll diagnose it just any other case. Study the symptoms, determine the differential. June slides the blood pressure sleeve off of Raph's arm. Blood pressure is steady, body temperature slightly elevated. So far it seems like... What's wrong? My teeth. Do they look loose to you? They feel like they're gonna fall out. Ah, I've had that feeling. It was his mouth, and Baz dutifully peers inside. Your teeth look totally normal, Raph. Did your sensation just start? Raph exhales, clearly relieved, but you can see him working his tongue around his mouth. He scratches his arm absently. Yeah, just now. Looks like Raph's symptoms are moving faster than mine, which means... Let's take stock. We can assume whatever Travis used was meant to be fatal. We know it's at least partially airborne, and we know symptoms include vomiting, stomach cramps, blurred vision, and now this. Ethan swallows hard as he looks at you, and turns to June with a tremendous effort, willing himself to focus. Raph also mentioned a metallic taste. That's probably important. Danny's blood pressure dropped precipitously, though that could be related to the vomiting. We should focus on biological agents that are most commonly weaponized. Anthrax would fit the vomiting and itching. Anything else could be related to fluid loss. Swallow hard to quell the instinctive rise of fear. Hundreds of things could cause these two symptoms: diseases, chemical agents, poisons. Raph leans over the side of the bed. With lightning reflexes, Baz has a sick bag ready for him as he loudly vomits. Sorry. We need to get these samples tested immediately. We'll start with the most likely options and keep going from there, I guess. He sat back as Baz and June pass back through the disinfecting room, your heart pounding. Ethan lingers behind a few minutes, gazing at you. I promise, Casey, we'll fix this. I'll fix this. He then turns to leave as well, leaving you and Raph alone in the room. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. Now playing as Ethan Ramsey. You stand over the printer as it slowly expels the latest results. You rip it free and check for the botulinum markers. You've already tested for anthrax, tularemia, and ricin. No particles detected. Another dead end. I should keep my cool. Close your eyes and take several long, deep breaths. Casey's face floats in the dark of your mind, stoic but afraid. You can't let her down. There's no botulinum present in every hero's blood. I expect the same goes for Casey. None whatsoever, and I can't believe I'm disappointed to be saying that. What about Taboon, or Varicina? It's unlikely, but worth a shot. We can't disregard fungal or viral contagions either, and we're just scratching the surfaces of chemical agents. One theory out at a time, June. It's all we can do. I'll run the test now. You lean against the counter as Baz gets to work. You probe the bridge of your nose with your fingertips, struggling to maintain your sense of calm. I'm afraid I have some bad news. Danny's slipped into a coma, and the nurse caring for him says there weren't any symptoms since we moved him. I don't think we'll learn any more from his case. Which means we need access to Travis if we're going to make any headway on this. But we don't have it. We just have to hope the FBI shares the findings from their private investigations with us. And that Casey and Raph can hold on long enough for that to do them any good. Doctors? You look to the door of the lab. Dr. Trin stands nervously in the doorway. Dr. Trin, what can we do for you? Actually, I think I can do something for you. And for Danny, Casey, and Raph. I know where Senator Faruqi is hiding. He's still here. Yana nods bravely, meeting your eyes with a determined gaze. And I think he knows where they took Travis. Travis's symptoms progression could help us narrow down the search. Any symptoms he shared with the other victims, we could certainly were important. It could help us treat Casey, Raph, and Danny more effectively. We might even get to a diagnosis in time. Unless you think the feds will reach out to us on their own. Remember your argument with the agent, his insistence that anything they learned about Travis was a matter of national security. No, I don't think that's likely. Then we have to talk to Ed. He's our only chance to get more information. Ed can be vital access to Travis before it's too late. Go with Sienna to learn more about what you're facing. What Travis is going to face is my photo up his ass. You two handle things here? Of course. We can't get test results back faster if you're here anyway. Go, find us some answers, Ethan. We'll keep going down the list. Follow me. Sienna leads you to a supply closet on the pediatrics floor. He's in there with a guy who looks like the Rock's less smiley twin. You're not serious. You pull at the handle, but it only goes an inch before a hand clamps down on it from the other side. Senator, it's Ethan Ramsey. Open the damn door. You hear a heavy sigh, and then a voice muffled by the wood door. Let him in. You and Sienna step inside the closet. Ed sits on a box of diapers, his fingers flying over his phone screen. An obviously tall private security guard towers over you. What the hell are you doing in the closet of the children's for, and who's this? In case you hadn't noticed, someone I've trusted for years who tried to murder me in your hospital, and your pathetic excuse for security did nothing to stop it. He gave his life, you piece of shit. Bobby died trying to stop the attack. He's dead? That's regrettable, but the fact remains. I can't risk exposing myself until I know that Travis is operating alone. But he wasn't. Why is that you're up at your home base near sick children? Spare me. I'm the one at the risk here, not you. Actually, that's not true. You're the one who got away. Others weren't so lucky. Bad day for them. Oh, I swear to Jesus Christ, I will choke the life out of you. I don't care if the Rock's lesser happy's fucking twin is here or not. You grit your teeth, trying to keep your cool in the face of the man's flippant disregard for Casey. The FBI took Travis into custody. I need access to him. And I need a stiff drink, but apparently we're both destined to be disappointed. This isn't a joke, Senator. If you don't help me, I'll expose you to the media. For what? Being the victim of your hospital's pathetic security measures? For being a corrupt, selfish charlatan who knowingly allowed an entire town to drink polluted water for the sake of cost-cutting? Go ahead. The world is a changed place, Ramsey. Run into the papers about a terrible man I may have gotten you somewhere in the 80s, but now no one's listening. One news cycle and they'll have moved on. And he's very much right. Then you'll what, hit me? You'll have to go through him first. Security guard cracks his knuckles warningly. You grit your teeth, wondering if it might just be worth it anyway. Senator, forget Dr. Ramsey, look at me. Again, you are the most mediagenic doctor you'll ever meet. You are sort of likable, I'll give you that, but what has that you got to do with anything? If you give us access to Travis, I'll give those reporters who follow you around a glowing interview about how you did everything you could to save our staff's lives, even though you were the intended victim of the attack. Go on. Think about it. Voters love you for your charm, but you never served in the military or the Peace Corps. This would make you an instant hero. No one can resist a hero. A hero, hmm? His eyes narrow, and considering, and he nods sharply. Fine, I'll make the call, but after this one gets an interview, I don't want to see either of you again. Trust me, we'll steal very clear of you in the future, Senator. Especially if you need our help. Soon, you and Sienna are driving across the city. Sienna's hands are clasped tight in her lap, her thumbs fidgeting. You're very impressive back there. Are you sure you'll be able to stomach singing that Leech's praises to the press? Casey's my best friend, and Danny and I always thought maybe, and Raph's supposed to fly off on an incredible adventure tomorrow. I'd do anything to get you and the diagnostics team what you need to save them. I see why Casey likes you so much. Sienna gives you a curious little glance. She likes you too, you know. In fact, she talks about you like you're more than colleagues. We are more than colleagues. And that's all I'll say on the matter. It's okay. I figured out that something was going on between the two of you. If you breathe a word of it, I swear to God, I'll drop you off in a ditch. There's nothing going on. Feelings-wise, I mean. You two have kind of a vibe about you. It's very Pride and Prejudice. Think of Casey's lips on yours, your fingers raking across your back. Do people talk about this vibe, so to speak? Nope, it's subtle. It's just super observant. She doesn't even know I know. Good. Do you think she and Raph are in real trouble? Do you think this could actually kill them? You swallow, your throat is tight with anxiety, or perhaps something even more terrifying. The threat of tears. Let's go see what Travis has to say. Sienna waits outside as you pass into the containment room at an FBI field office. Travis lies on a bed rigged to a heart rate monitor, covered head to toe in sweat. Rage floods your body as you realize you're facing the man who did this to Casey, and you have to work to restrain yourself. Keep it together, Ethan. You can't get answers if you lose it. Through a serendipitous force of will, you manage to pull yourself together, leaning over the bed to make sure Travis can hear you. Travis, are you awake? I need you to tell me what was in the canister. He blurrily opens his eyes, turning to look at you, a vicious smile curling his lips. I'd tell you if I knew. What? But how? Believe it or not, the kinds of people who will sell you biological weapons on short notice don't like it when you ask too many questions. He shrugs effortlessly. All I ever had was an account number. Coughs weakly, and you sigh, turning to the chart on his bed. You might not know what he used, but his symptoms could narrow things down. Low blood pressure, eyes are dilated, unfocused, and his face looks hollow. Probably all the vomiting has dehydrated him. You move to the intercom and press it. Has your team made any progress on determining the containment? We haven't isolated yet, but we have ruled out several dozen possibilities. I can print out the results for you. That's a start. You return to Travis's bedside, picking up the chart at the foot to learn more about the symptoms he's experiencing, but you've barely started when his paper-thin voice breaks your concentration. You should have let it die from the lead poisoning. None of this would have happened if you had. This is your fault. Listen, I understand why you felt you had to do what you did. Ed Ferrugia is a monster. You're only trying to make him pay for what he did to your town. For what he did to my brother. He was an innocent kid. Ed deserves to suffer. But Ed isn't suffering, Casey and Raph are. Danny is. Everyone who cared about Bobby is. Good. They let him get away. Their job is to save lives. They're innocent, Travis, just like your brother. His face contorts in pain, and he doubles over to vomit weakly into a basin. Maybe you're right, but it's too late now. I just wish I was taking Ed with me. The heart rate monitor slows as he trails off, whistling painfully and clutching his stomach. Oh God, it hurts so much. Please make it stop. I'm gonna sit and think about this one while taking a sip of my coffee. Hold on. Okay. 2 wrongs don't make a right. And 3 wrongs sure as shit don't make a right. Sighing, you move to the intercom and press the button. Needs more morphine. And a doctor hurries in with a vial of morphine and injects it into Travis's IV. It quickly takes effect. Thank you. It's more than you deserve. You turn for the door, stomach roiling with fear and disgust, but you've learned important information about the symptom progression, information that could help save Casey, Raph, and Danny. The agents are providing a list of dozens of things that isn't, and his heart symptoms match Danny's exactly. Together with other symptoms, this will really narrow down the possible causes. Just as you reach the door, you hear a gasp. He's flatlining. Agents rush in to try and resuscitate Travis, but it's too late. Seconds later, he's gone. Looks like that's all we get out of him. I just hope it's enough. Now playing as Casey. An hour or so passes, the agonizing quiet punctuated only by Raph's occasional moans and the ever-slowing beep of his heart monitor. You stand ignoring the strange, numb feeling in your feet, but a wave of dizziness nearly overwhelms you. Casey, you have to lie down. Look to the other bed. Paz wheeled in for you. Soft pillows and blankets beckon to you. Raph. I think better on my feet. You're stumbling all over the place. I didn't say I thought better in a straight line. Funny, at least you still have a sense of humor. When I lose that, it's time to get really worried. Raph holds a hand out to you. You take it, worried by how weakly his fingers cling to yours. I'm not worried. You're gonna solve this, I knew it. Damn straight. I'm getting us out of here, and we're both going to Brazil. I officially need a vacation. I'll tell my cousin to get an extra couch ready. Casey, Raph! The eerie silence of the corridor is disturbed by the sound of your roommates hurrying towards the window. Oh, thank God, you're still standing. Told you I'd be back. This time I brought some company. You both look like hell. But I have tea and cafeteria pizza in case you think you can eat. I'll have Dr. Marani bring it in to you. Ah, yay. You're taking your friends and your heart aching. It's so full. You guys, I wish I could hug every single one of you. The feeling's mutual. Just let me grow a spontaneous immunity to whatever you've got, and then you can get out of here. What she said. How did you even get here, Aurora? You're supposed to be at Mass Kenmore. I cut out as soon as Elijah texted me. You're in trouble, so I'm here, that's that. Just then another face appears at the window. Sora, how did you... Not before Raph can finish the thought, she runs away down the hall. Do you want me to go after her? No. I'm sure she needs time to process, and I don't know what I'd say to her right now anyway. A look of regret flits over Raph's face, but you can see him push aside as he turns back to the window. Is there any news out there? Finn and Jackie exchange a long look. What is it? Ethan and I managed to get access to Travis, and it helped us eliminate a lot more possibilities, but just as we were leaving, he died. But we're close to figuring out what this is. Heads up. Diagnostics team returns to their bulky hazmat suits and pass one by one through the decontamination tent. Paz carries a small cooler. We have something that should help you both. But not a cure. Not yet. But this should help alleviate some of the worst symptoms. Thank you. Paz extracts 2 syringes from the cooler. He then takes one and gently ushers you towards the bed. You should sit. Just for a minute. Mouth starts to prickle painfully, almost like it's fallen asleep. Ethan's face blurs in and out of focus as you stare at him, his eyes helpless behind the window in his helmet. Casey. Report my new symptom. I'm having paresthesias around my mouth and in my feet, and blurred vision. Any other developing symptoms? I threw up a while back, but we all knew that was part of this, so I guess that's not really a new symptom. I see. Thank you for telling me. He then binds a vein and administers the treatment. It stings for a moment. Across the small room, you see June pulling the other syringe from Raph's arm. Are the FBI going to autopsy the guy who did this? Yes, but they've informed me they have no intention of sharing those results with us. They're claiming national security. Are you serious? That's BS! It is. But any petition to release it would take weeks, and we have hours. We need to work quickly to find a diagnosis. Especially since... His voice hitches, Jackie lays a hand on his shoulder and turns to you. Danny is unresponsive. He's going downhill fast. Oh my God. We're not giving up on you or Danny. Between us, the diagnostics team, we have 9 doctors working on this already. We should be able to solve anything. I'm just a surgeon, but I'll offer whatever help I can. This isn't the time for competence of yours to do a runner, Bryce. Yeah, you're not just anything. Sorry, I mean, we've got this. So, here's where we are. We've ruled out anthrax, botulinum, ricin, tellurium, and we're waiting on results for taboon. The FBI's tests have ruled out half a dozen fungal toxins, Ebola, markers, and all the Novak nerve agents. That's a pretty broad field. When you have so little to go on, you need to cast a wide net. Still, it's progress. The fact that there's still no fever means it's almost certainly not a bacterial or virus. We're shifting our focus to... June stops dead as Wrath clutches his chest, then pitches violently sideways. Rush over to catch him before he tumbles to the floor. Raph! It's alright, he's just fainted. With an effort, you lean Raph back against the pillow. After several agonizing seconds, he opens his eyes, blinking confusedly. What does this mean? It means we need to move even faster than we thought. Hours pass, your friends are gone. Busy working your case with diagnostics team and testing as many vials of blood as you can spare. Raph moans softly in his sleep. The sound, punctuated by the slow beep of his heart monitor, you focus on its steady rhythm, even as the room spins around you. As long as his heart's beeping, he's okay. He's here. He's fighting. Casey. You look up from the chair beside his bed. Raph gazes at you with a gentle smile. His voice is barely louder than a sigh. You look terrible. Raph, how are you feeling? Not bad. Raph, be honest. I am. Everything hurts less than it did before, but that might be because I feel a little detached. Like I'm not in my body anymore. I don't like where you're going with this. His hand finds yours. You hold it tight, troubled by how cold his skin is. He swallows painfully, and you turn away to pour a cup of water and to hide your tears. You hand him the cup, and he takes a sip and then frowns. That's ice in the water, isn't it? Yes. It tastes hot, like scald your mouth hot. Wait, cold things feel hot to you. It's weird, right? Like, tell Ethan about it. It could be important. Maybe that will be the thing that saves you at least. Stop. No, this is important. I may not make it, but if you track my symptoms... Seriously, Raph, stop. You're gonna make it. I'm afraid you don't get much of a say in it. There's still time. Maybe you're right. I just want to make sure I can help you in case this is all the time I have left. He squeezes your hand gently. You shake your head, sighing. Raph, you know how much I care about you, but I have to know why. Why do you keep throwing yourself in the way of danger? Honestly, I don't know, Casey. That moment it felt like the only option, but now I keep imagining my Vovo. His grip on your hand weakens. Tears come freely now. Cling to his hand, devastated that it's come to this. Raph, stay with me. Casey, I think you should page the team. His heart rate slows to a crawl, his breathing growing more shallow, like a tide draining out to sea. Sorry, Keys. I couldn't save you. This might be the way it ends. You meet your eyes. They're as warm and kind as the day you met. Run your fingers through his thick hair. Matted with cold sweat, you're crying so hard you can barely see him through the tears. You'll make it through this, Raph. I know you will. You meet your eyes and smiles, then his eyes flutter closed, and his hand drops away. June answers your page moments later. Ethan at her side, they hurry into the room. I hope the treatment would buy us more time. We don't know that it didn't. He nods. June turns to you, eyes filled with sympathy. We'll get him to the sports suite. There's still a chance, Casey. We might fix this in time to help him. Yeah, but how's Danny? Ethan stares at Raph, a storm of emotions passing over his face. You almost don't dare to ask. How's Danny? Ethan lets out a weary sigh. We lost him. No. Before he died, he asked to be autopsied to help the two of you. You squeeze your eyes shut, the pressure in your head so great it feels like it might explode. Finally, you suck in a deep breath and turn to Ethan, already busily prepping Raph for transport to the support suite. Just before he fell into a coma, Raph says ice water felt hot to him. Hot-cold reversal, that's specific. It reminds me of something I read a few years ago. Ethan seems to physically shake off his emotions, turning to June. Come on, we need to follow up on whatever you're thinking if we move fast enough. He gazes at Raph's body, inert on the bed, the words catching in his throat. Stay strong, Casey. We'll know more soon. June finishes securing the barrier over Raph's bed, and then she and Ethan carefully wheel him out of the decontamination room. Down the hallway, Solidarity figures in a labyrinth of plastic. Please, don't let it be too late. And then you're alone. You curl up on your bed and let the tears fall. Later, your friends and the diagnostics team arrive outside the window to your room. You notice Bryce standing behind Beth. He stares at you with haunted eyes. How's Kira? Surgery must be over now. She's fine. She's resting. We haven't told her what's happened with you yet. Good idea. Anna sniffs and buries her face in Jackie's shoulder. You look to Ethan, June, Baz, who have just joined your friends at the window. Oh, how doomed am I? You're not. Doomed isn't a useful word, Casey, especially since my hunch was right. And yet it's written all over your faces. Come on, tell me, what do I have? It's a toxin, one I've never seen, and it was still present and active in Danny's body post-mortem, including on the surface of his skin, which means it's still dangerous. You recognize the name and search your mind for more information. Toxin, that's derived from parasites in fish, isn't it? But the knowledge hits you like a ton of bricks. There's no antidote to it. This is going to kill you. Well, I'm gonna die here. So be it. You're okay with this? What else can I be? Ethan watches you through the window, his eyes grave. This isn't the time to give up, Casey. Like the rat's actions, you didn't get as much toxin, so the symptoms aren't as advanced. But there's no antidote. Yet, we're working around the clock to synthesize one. And you won't be alone. Huh? You look past your friends to see Aurora leading Tobias Garrick and a team of doctors from Mass Kenmore up the corridor. The best doctors and resources Mass Kenmore can offer are at your disposal. Tobias. Save it, Ethan. This is bigger than anything going on between us over our hospitals. Valentine's not dying on our watch. Tobias. I knew you were a good guy deep down. Like deep down. Very, very deep down. Don't go telling anybody. Aurora, I can't tell you how thankful. So don't. Thank me by hanging in there, okay? I'll do my best. We've set up base camp in the laboratory. We can take you there now. Anyone else who wants to join us is welcome. Count us in. Chemistry was my strongest subject in college. Deanna plasters herself to the window, her eyes fierce, even as tears streak her cheeks. Don't you dare die. No comas either. Just hold the line. You hear me? I hear you. Aurora pulls her gently away from the window and leads her away. The others say their goodbyes and follow June and Baz to the lab. Only one person stays behind. Ethan is quiet for a long time. Are you okay? No, Casey, I'm not okay. But you don't need to hear about that. You should try and get some rest. Have you slept at all? No, I can't stop thinking about Rav. How long he can last, whether it's already... Do you want me to stay with you for a while? The others won't miss you? Tobias knows what he's doing. Elijah was right, considering what we know about meteotoxins. This is a chemistry problem now. This is where I can do the most good. That is if you want me here with you. Have Ethan spend the night with you in isolation and share your feelings, while you still can. If this is my last night alive, I want to spend it with you. If I was in your position, I'd feel the same way about you. Really? Really, Casey. He suits up and enters the room, gently guiding you to the bed. Now lie down. As impossible as it sounds, you need to try and relax. Think about something happy. You sink onto the mattress, he covers you with a blanket, and then pulls a seat up next to your bedside. I'm trying, but I just feel like there's so many things I should have done. Like what? I should have loved more. What do you mean? I've spent the past decade focusing on college, med school, work, always guarding my heart because I might be in another city next year. He made his eyes, wishing you could see them without the barrier of plastic. It makes me wonder, what could have been? Ethan is quiet for a long moment. Since we're sharing regrets, do you mind if I share one of mine? Go ahead. Ethan's gloved hand finds yours. I wish I hadn't asked you to stay away. You do? We've wasted so much time. I've wasted so much time. I should have held you in my arms every day and told you how much I... He hesitates for just a moment. How much I care about you. Ethan, I've always thought we should be together. You have? Kind of thought it was obvious, actually. I'd hate to presume anything, though that feeling was very definitely mutual. He held your hand tightly, the smile not leaving his face. He looks so happy, you wish. I wish I could kiss you. Soon. You will soon. Your happiness fades almost as quickly as it came. Casey, what's wrong? It just hit me that Raph might be the last real human contact I ever get to have. Not through plastic. Ethan joined you on the bed, his bulky arms encircling you. Look at me. You look through his helmet. You can't think like that. You can't give up. But I can kiss you. Sort of. You take his gloved hand and press your lips to it. He turns it over, cupping your chin. You can feel the pressure of his thumb stroking your cheek through the suit. Casey. You lay together with your eyes locked on till, at last, you feel sleep cloud the edges of your mind. You sigh and snuggle closer into Ethan's arms. I'm glad I at least got to hold you. One last time. This isn't the last time, Casey. I promise you that. You wake suddenly the next morning, a stabbing pain ripping through your stomach. You moan, bending double. Back in the chair, Ethan reaches for you. It's alright, Casey, you'll be alright. You give in, riding the wave of pain. When it's over, you feel weaker than ever. You glance up, clearly eyed, as your friends approach the window. Casey, we did it! You blink at their outlines, so blurry now you can barely distinguish them from each other. Do you have an antidote? June and Baz come swimming in and out of focus as they enter your room. They look exhausted, but hopeful. Oh. We've managed to create a compound that will bind to the toxin and prevent it from attaching to your plasma membranes. It should keep this from progressing any further while your body flushes out the rest of the toxin. We didn't have much time to test it out. What about Raph? He's much sicker than I am. We administered it to him, but so far there's no change. It's possible we're already too late. But he hasn't gotten any worse. That has to mean something. Either way, it looks like this is the best shot I have. Would you like to do the honors, Ethan? I would. You present your arm, barely able to hold it. Bass hurries to your aid, holding your arm still as Ethan prepares the injection. Ready? It's now or never. Let's do this. Ethan smoothly inserts the needle into your vein and disperses the serum. And now we wait and hope. Several hours pass in a slow, anxious crawl. Every hour, June comes by to test your blood. Slowly, your blood pressure starts to stabilize. Eventually, the nausea recedes and the world swims back into sharper focus. Until... Get up. You mean... Ethan mindfully strides to the decontamination tent, leaving the doors open behind him. It worked. There's no trace of toxin left in your bloodstream. Even if there are still traces in the room, we know now that we can... Oh. You fly into his arms, pulling him into a tight hug. What you're saying is I'm finally free to do this? Yes. He wraps his arms around you, holding you as tightly as he dares. You feel a tear tracing down your jaw, but you don't know which of you it belongs to. A while later, after a long, hot shower, a nurse helps settle you into a wheelchair and pushes you out of the room. The elevator opens onto your friends, waiting for you on the floor below. Their faces are pale, their eyes heavy with sleeplessness, but the smiles they greet you with are so filled with love, it takes your breath away. Casey, I'm so happy to see you outside that bubble. That makes two of us. Deanna pushes her way into your arms and buries her face into your gown. I was so scared for you. Honestly, I wasn't. I knew you'd save me. I just wish we'd have enough time to save Danny, too. Yeah. We all do. He was an incredible person. I can't believe he's really gone. It doesn't feel real yet, and yet Raph... Stop it. Raph's in a coma. He's not dead yet. Deanna weeps softly. Aurora takes her in her arms as Elijah reaches up, placing a gentle hand on her back. Bryce lays a comforting hand on your shoulder, and Jackie takes your hands in hers, squeezing tight. You stay there for a long moment, enjoying the closeness of your friends after so long in isolation, until at last Bryce steps back. Come on, someone else wants to see you. Kara lies in bed. Her chest is heavily bandaged. She looks up, her eyes heavy with grief and fatigue. But she's still alive, and she's smiling. Casey. Kara. Looks like you've both been through hell. Should we give you a minute? Unable to say anything more, you take her frail hand. You've been transferred to another room for recovery while they once again decontaminate the floor you were on. You look up to a knock at the door. Just wanted to see how you were settling in before I head back to Maskin. Okay. I think I have you to thank for that more than anyone. You get Tobias and all the doctors to agree to come. Well, let me take a hint at this. They could have been the ones that were exposed and hoped that you did the same. I just told him he was, what was going on. He might be kind of an a-hole sometimes, but he's not actually a bad guy. How did our two teams work together? Really well. It's an amazing thing to be a part of. I had a lot of time to think in there. Seeing you guys come together like that in a crisis, it made me wonder if that might be the solution for both of us. If maybe Mass Kenmore and Edenbrook can come together to cure state budget cuts? The metaphor could use some work, but yeah, it's a long shot, but if we can convince both sides, it just might work. She's quiet for a long moment before she looks up at you. Worry tugs at her every feature. And what about us? Do you think we can be cured? Smiling, you take her hand in yours and squeeze it tightly. We already are. Aurora smiles gratefully at you and squeezes back. After a few seconds, she lets go, rubbing her cheeks. Just then, Sienna bursts in, face beaming. Casey, it worked. Oh my god, I can't believe it, but it worked! We kinda already... Wait, are you saying what I think you're saying? She nods furiously. Raph just woke up. He's still weak, and we don't know what kind of residual effects the toxin might have, but he made it, Casey. I have to go find everyone else and let them know, but he was asking for you if you wanted to see him. That's a very wholehearted yes. Still grinning from ear to ear, Sienna rushes down the hallway. You can hear the joy in her voice as she tells everyone she passes about Raph's miraculous recovery. On that note, I'm gonna go head home and get some sleep. Tell Raph how happy I am for him, okay? I'll visit soon. Will do. You're just outside Raph's room, ready to knock on the open door when the sound of voices drifts out into the hallway. So you're telling me you just ran in there? It's not like I had a choice, Sora. The guy had a weapon. Right, so you had to be the hero like always, otherwise the world would stop spinning on an axis, right? Sora. She sighs heavily, turning to Raph, face contorted with pain. Just tell me one thing and be honest. Before you ran into the room, did you think of me at all? Sora, you have to understand. Just answer the question, Raph. Let me go ahead and answer for him. No. People like me and him, we don't think about that. We think about saving lives. Doing the best for every single person possible. Even if it means dying alone. I didn't. That's what I thought. Goodbye, Raph. I'm glad you're okay, but we're not. In fact, there's no we anymore. This relationship is over. And he is better off without you. Without another word, she bursts out of the room, stopping to stare at you for just a moment. Before hurrying on down the hallway, head down. You take a moment to catch your breath, to order your thoughts. After a few seconds, you tap lightly on the door. Come in. You move inside and you smile softly. Casey, looks like we both made it after all. Looks like... Should we ring for champagne? It's not usually on the hospital-approved list of medications, but I bet the nurses would make an exception this time. I don't think I'm quite ready for that yet. Besides, I don't really feel like celebrating. Sora just broke up with me. I'm sorry, Raph. Are you okay? Actually, I feel surprisingly fine. Sora was right. I wanted things to work between us, but my heart just wasn't in it. So, what does it mean? Are you still going to Brazil, or...? No, I don't think so. I told myself moving was a new frontier for me, but now I think maybe I was just running away. I need to stay here. I wanted a change, and I got one. Just not the change I expected. The team pulled through to save you and Raph, but in the wake of the attack, everything has changed. What will the future bring for you? Keep playing to find out. It's a good book. Kind of like With Every Heartbeat, which, by the way, if you guys haven't tuned in, please go check that out. Your love for Danny will greatly increase, and you will miss him as a character. For some of you who have not checked out that book yet, you may think he was just a additional character. Just a write-off, a red shirt in Star Trek. Actually wasn't. He was a halfway decent guy. So, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down description below, links to social media, Discord, and a few links to support me and my content. Welcome back, Open Heart. That's all I can say. It's at least one of the few books that they currently are doing that are still good. Anyway, I'll be streaming on Twitch later this evening. Probably here shortly, actually. Please, if you wish, please tune in. Please come chat, hang out, get to know me, whatnot. There's more to me and this channel than just my voice and me reading. There is also a lot of community members that you can get to know, and you can also get to know yours truly. I'm more than just a pretty face, or an ugly one, and a voice. Thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Peace.